It's Listen In with KNN, the sports sound of the district. For this episode, we welcome the father of one of the NFL's top stars. After he played his college ball for The Ohio State University, in which he won a national championship with the Buckeyes in 2014, he was drafted 4th overall by the Dallas Cowboys in the 2016 NFL Draft. From there, he's become one of the NFL's top offensive performers. He led the league in rushing yards in 2016 and 2018 and is a 3-time Pro Bowl selection.
Elliott cuts back. Zeke. Touchdown.
And Elliott takes it home for the touchdown.
It's Elliott. Elliott for the touchdown. No flags. Cowboys lead.
Last season, he finished with 979 rushing yards and 6 rushing touchdowns. We are now joined by the proud father of Ezekiel Elliott, Stacy Elliott, on this live stream of Listen In with KNN. Here's your host, Kelsey Nicole Nelson. It's Listen In with KNN, the sports sound of the district. Today, we welcome the father of a former college standout, now making his mark in the NFL ranks. After a successful college career at Penn State, he was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 5th round of the 2018 NFL Draft. After waiting for his opportunity to make an impact, that chance came last season, when he made the switch to linebacker from safety and played in 14 games. He finished with 24 tackles, including 16 solo stops, 2 for a loss, and 2 quarterback hits. He made his first NFL start against Buffalo on December 13th and finished with a career-high 8 tackles. Recently, he signed a 1-year contract extension with the Steelers. We now welcome Marcus Allen's father, Shawn Allen, to this live stream of Listen In with KNN. Here's your host, Kelsey Nicole Nelson. It's Listen In with KNN, the sports sound of the district. We bring you the biggest guests, great analysis, and the hottest sports stories in the nation's capital and beyond. And we bring it to you live. Welcome to this live stream broadcast of Listen In with KNN. Here's your host, Kelsey Nicole Nelson.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome into another new live stream edition of Listen In with KNN, your official sports sound of the district and beyond. I'm your host, Kelsey Nicole Nelson, and look, football is finally here. It's finally back. We've been counting down to it. So I decided today to welcome in 2 dads who know the game very well. They both have their sons playing in the National Football League, and I have one father from each team. So we're not being biased on today's show. I've got the Cowboys represented, and I've got the Steelers represented, and we're just going to see who wins, all right? We'll get our predictions. We'll preview the NFL season, and of course, just talk about what it means to be an NFL dad and what we predict for their sons this season. I'm so excited to be here live at Swahili Village, broadcasting from Northwest DC. We've got Stacy Elliott in Dallas. We've got Shawn Allen in Cleveland. So look, we're global right now. We're bringing you all of the best angles. So without further ado, let me welcome in my guests. First, I will bring on Shawn Allen. Shawn, how are you today?
Hey, Kelsey, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic. Terrific. I'm so excited to have you here. And if you guys don't know, Shawn Allen is the father of Marcus Allen, who is a linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I guess I feel like I'm in enemy territory right now because, Shawn, you know Baltimore's close to D.C., so some Baltimore Ravens fans might not be too happy to have you on. But again, excited to have you. Cleveland, how's Cleveland treating you, Shawn?
It's cool. It's cool. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to be there. Shawn's actually going to be heading out to Canton very soon, so he'll have to check back in with the show to give us the latest updates from Canton, Ohio. And next, I'm bringing on Stacy Elliott. Stacy, how are you today?
Doing great. Thank you for having me, Miss Kelsey.
It's my pleasure. And Stacy is in Dallas. All right, Stacy, you know I'm broadcasting from D.C., so you know we've got some Cowboys haters here. But look, it's all love from me, Stacy.
I know. We got much love for you, but Washington Nation, I don't know. We don't.
We'll let it play out on game day, right, Stacy? We got to be fair. We got to be nice. Look, we got a lot of people tuning into the show. Lots of people saying hi to you both. First off, I'd like to do a wellness check with my guests. So you guys are both doing well and healthy. I feel like you guys look great. You guys look like your son. Great shape, right?
Thank you. Your kind words. I'm working on.
Of course. All right, so let's get into it. We've got a big game tonight, but before we get there, I want to touch on both your sons and what it was like raising your sons. Obviously, they're both in the public eye. I'll start with you, Stacy. Your son, of course, Ezekiel Elliott, star running back for the Dallas Cowboys. Just talk about his progression in the National Football League and what it's meant to you as a father.
I mean, words really can't even explain what it means to be a father of such a great young man. And I'm just proud of his progression in the NFL, coming from The Ohio State University.
Yeah.
He's matured so much.
He's matured so much. A proud father. I see the smile on your face. And look, we love to see Ezekiel Elliott grow. We're ready to see him be fed this season, Stacy. You know everyone's saying feed Zeke, and so we're wishing him the best. And then Shawn, your son Marcus Allen, who actually has some DMV roots. So shout out to the DMV. What's it meant to see Marcus progress in the National Football? To see your son progress in the National Football League?
It's a process. I'm proud of him as well.
Yeah.
We've come a long way from little league, high school, college, Pee Wee football, the tunnels, to where he is right now. I mean, it was an awesome process, and I'm extremely proud of him and the young man that he evolved into also.
Yeah, of course, again, we have a big game tonight, so you two both be friendly to each other, at least until game time. Save the haters against each other for game time. But also, let's talk about your friendship, right? I mean, how did you two become friends?
That's a good question. I believe, if I recall, because we are very, very good friends. Shawn is one of my best friends. I think Mr. Ronnie Kilgore introduced us.
That's right.
So tight, but he's been a great person in my life as a father. It's always good to be able to turn to the father, get advice and counsel as we walk this path with our this journey with our children.
And we had to do that quite frequently. I mean, I can lean on him more than I can count, and I appreciate that.
That's real. That is a sign of real friendship and a true testament to it. And speaking off of that, look, we got a big preseason game tonight. We've missed preseason, right, fellas? I mean, we haven't had it. In 2020, we couldn't have fans in the stands. So let's just talk about it. I know the preseason game, we won't have all the starters starting, but, what's it feel to be like, football's back? It's finally back. I mean, are you excited? What have you talked about with your sons? How are they feeling about tonight's game? I'll start with you, Shawn.
Well, I mean, it's an opportunity for a lot of the young guys to make their mark in the NFL and to show why they should, when the cut downs are final, that they should be on the final 53-man roster. So for those guys, it's the Super Bowl. So I'm rooting for all of those guys on both teams to show that they belong.
Yeah, it's important. And I think, we can look at your son's journey, right? Say, Shawn, from getting drafted and then playing from a couple games to being named a starter. I mean, that's like the progression that we like to see in the National Football League, right? So, I mean, when you see that,
Yeah,
he's
it
a
was.
testament to that, right? And what it means to each day grind on the football field. And like you said, I mean, a lot of guys here are trying to prove themselves in these games
Yeah.
tonight. You won't see all the starters, but look, we're seeing kind of that next man up mentality. And that's what it is in the National Football League, right? It just is the next man up. You never know what can happen. Same question for you, Stacy, when we're ready for football. You guys both get to be back in the stands. I'm sure your sons are happy about that, right? You got to have pops in the stands cheering you on. How excited are you, Stacy?
I am super excited. Last year, Ezekiel didn't want any of us to come to any of his games, so we didn't go to any game.
Yeah.
We watched them all from TV. But if I could say before I talk more about Ezekiel, I'm really proud of Marcus and his journey. And he's like a nephew to me and how he has battled adversity.
Yeah.
To be, you know, in that starting position right now. I mean, listen, this guy, there's no limit to him. But, you know, Ezekiel, I'm just excited to see what he does this year. I know he's hungry, and I know ever since he was 7 years old, he does his best when he's up against adversity.
Yeah.
And greatest adversity I think he's up against right now, I want to win, and he want to win for the Dallas Cowboys, bring a Super Bowl home to Jones, Dallas Cowboy Nation.
Oh my gosh, Stacey, you're about to make them go crazy. You said Jerry Jones and Super Bowl in the same sentence, all right? So I'm going to have to calm the Cowboy fans down now. But look, it could happen, right? I mean, they're hungry for it. Ezekiel Elliott is one of those players. And before we talk about the road to a championship, I want to talk about some of the pressures they face. You know, you talked about him facing adversity. Social media is a thing. I'm sure these guys go on social media. And look, there's just haters on social media, right? We're just going to keep it real. So, you know, what kind of conversations are you having with Zeke to kind of push and power through? Because we know the season he had last year, he had a solid season. But of course, I know he's been addressing this in training camp, Stacey. And, you know, some people are bringing up the fumbling, right, from last season. So how is he able to kind of shut out that noise? What advice have you given him to just kind of stay focused on the game ahead?
To be honest with you, I've never been a father to talk much about sports with my son.
Yeah.
He knows that I support him. If he look up in the stand and he see me there, that's how I communicate. He's a pro. He's a true pro. Last year, actually, I believe it was after the Thanksgiving game, he actually came back to his house and I was there. And he talked football with me, which was the first time I could even, in his whole life, talk football to me. So I just know that Ezekiel has prepared and he's ready and he's definitely hungry. He's weighing the same weight he did when he was in college. No, he ain't eating. He's starving. So I don't really bother him about the noise. Ezekiel's been doing this since he was 7, and he is so disciplined. He doesn't even listen to the noise.
And that's important, right? Because there's people out there who will never be in his position, never be in his spot, and not even know what it means to play at this level. So I'm glad he doesn't let it affect him. And look, at the end of the day, if you have haters, I believe you're doing something right. All right. So Zeke, you're doing something right if you can hear us before this broadcast. You know, you're touching on playing football. Marcus, Shawn, I want to go back to you with Marcus. When did that love of football start for him? When did you really see in him that, you know, the NFL might be something that will come to fruition for your son?
To be honest with you,
yeah,
it was never a goal, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was never a goal for Marcus to even play college football, to be honest. I mean, the first time that I introduced him to football, he was gung-ho, ready to go. I think he was about 5 years old. Yeah. So I took him out to flag football. He's excited. I'm excited because, I'm a father. I'm pushing him. I want to sit on the sideline and root for him. And then another little boy threw the ball and it hit him in his face and he quit.
Oh.
Grand opening, grand closing. So that's a true story. So, I just, said, well, geez, this is reality. I'm not going to have a football player in the family. And then he came to me maybe a couple of years later and wanted to play again. And the rest is history.
And the rest is history. And it's a good history, especially for the fans out in Pittsburgh right now, Shawn. And let's go back to you, Stacy. Same question. When did you know for Zeke? When did it kind of become actuality that your son could possibly play at the next level, the top level in the National Football League?
That's a good question, Kelsey. I've always been a realist. It was never my goal for him to play in the NFL, but it always was his goal. And why wouldn't it be when you compete and you want to be the best, you want to play at the ultimate level?
Right.
But for me as a father, to be honest with you, I did not know Ezekiel Elliott had arrived until we played University of Wisconsin sophomore year with a big championship. I said, wow, this guy, Ezekiel Elliott, has arrived. Played Alabama the following week, and he destroyed their defense. I said, this is the Easy E moment. That was amazing, and the rest was history. Winning a national championship. I got that natty ring on right now.
Look at it shining bright.
Have a Super Bowl one day.
I will tell you both. So as someone who graduated from the University of Maryland, it's very hard to sit in between someone who roots for Ohio State and Penn State. But I'm trying to keep my composure. And look, all the Maryland Terps out there, one day we'll have some football glory, all right? That day is coming very soon. Be nice to us, Stacy. I see you laughing over there. But again, just let's touch on, too, just the fatherhood aspects. I think a lot of times in sports, I've talked to a lot of coaches on the show, and they'll say sometimes how so many parents are just stuck on their kid getting to the professional level, right? And that's all they're focused on. But what I'm hearing from you both is that was really never the goal. It just kind of happened and matriculated. And I think when we talk about Black fatherhood too, unfortunately, there's sometimes a negative stereotype with it. But I think you two are two great examples of that being broken and embodied. So let's just talk about what was it like raising not just a football player, but just a Black man in America. I'll start with you, Shawn.
Well, I mean, as we all know, it's difficult, and it's even more difficult to raise a Black man who's an athlete, because you have to attack it from both sides. You have the pressures, the social pressures, and you also have to deal with people telling your son how great they are all their life. And at some point, it actually they start to believe it. And it's your job to bring them back down to reality and keep them focused and grounded. And at every level, and especially this level, and Stacy can attest to that, that was the root of a lot of our conversations. Sometimes that's extremely hard to do.
Yeah, I can only imagine, right? And we see all that's going on right now. We see the Black Lives Matter movement in America growing. We also what happened after the killing of George Floyd, and here in DC, and I know you know this, Shawn, living in the area, we saw January 6th happen, right? So you have sons that are now grown men that are still trying to deal with societal issues. And now let's turn that same question over to you, Stacy. Raising Zeke, Black father, Black man in America, and just kind of some of the adversity that you knew that he'd face. I mean, also being a star athlete, right? And maybe some of the special privileges and things that could happen, but also sometimes negative stuff that could come to you for that exact reason. Explain how you really were able to help train him and to be a man in society outside of just being an athlete.
Well, first and foremost, a beautiful question. What I did, one of the things I did with is that I taught him to respect everyone. Mm-hmm. And even if someone was being disrespectful to him, to still be respectful to them. Respect law enforcement, no matter what the situation was, because it allows you to live another day.
Right.
It was difficult at times after I became a star, and people would literally walk back and talk to my son. I don't exist. And I'm 6'4", 260 pounds. I know I exist.
Wow.
Presence is always. And so that was difficult. But me and his mom had decided that I would move to Columbus, Ohio, when he went to the Ohio State University.
Yeah.
And some have written and said it was because we was concerned about him getting in trouble, but that was farther from the truth. We was concerned that he had not developed those Black male instincts we need to survive in America, that we can detect danger and put ourselves out in the streets. And that was the number one reason why I went to Columbus, Ohio with Ezekiel. Ezekiel had never, ever been in trouble through elementary school or college. So I worried other people trying to prey on my son and my being equipped yet protected.
Yeah, it's something that's real, right? Again, preparing your sons for real life in America. And it is different for Black males in America. And again, add that athlete layer on top of that. And again, I think we're just seeing constant examples of it. But I think it's special. And I think, again, what you both are doing is helping to kind of break that negative stereotype. We have two great Black fathers here. And earlier we had Sharif Abdurrahim, and I just love talking about these topics and subjects. Let's actually do a fun question for the fathers. I mean, when you had your son, right? I mean, what have you both learned about fatherhood? I'll start with you, Shawn.
It's an awesome honor. It's a huge responsibility. And if you do it right, it's a great reward.
Yeah.
And if you do it right, there's always someone looking. There are other fathers who may not be stellar fathers that look at your example and may take heed and implement those same values and that same attention and that same care to their own children. So it's an awesome responsibility, but it's rewarding.
It's rewarding. What would you tell your younger self? Something you learned about fatherhood on, if you could tell your younger self when you first became a dad. I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Tell my younger self. I'll pass that question on to Stacy.
All right, Stacy, you're on the spot. What would you tell your younger self about fatherhood?
That it's undeserved suffering. It's commitment. It's giving up a part of yourself.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's
huge. And again, I appreciate you both touching on that subject. And again, just two great sons. We're excited to see them. All right, football is getting closer by the minute. Again, we're excited for tonight's game. I'll start with you, Stacy, because I'm in DC. The NFC East. Stacy, they're still calling us the NFC Least. What's up with that? We got Dak back. We got the Cowboys. I want to start on just training camp with the Cowboys. What have you seen and what have you liked so far with the Dallas team?
I love the camaraderie, if that's right. I love the energy. From what I can see, I haven't been able to go to training camp up in Oxnard because my son just recently asked me to move to Dallas, Texas. So undeserved stuff. And I haven't been able to go there physically, but I just love the energy that I'm seeing on TV.
Yeah.
And the excitement. I love that.
Yeah, the excitement is fun. And then y'all have Hard Knocks too. Stacy, I seen you. I saw the video that you shared. Was Zeke having a problem finding the building, Stacy?
Yeah.
Because
when it comes to finding stuff and that, he usually have to lean on his mama. See, so
long as he can find the football, fans are happy.
Help him with that one. So
it's exciting that the Cowboys will have Hard Knocks. Has he expressed anything to you about that? Like, is it something that he cares about? Has it been fun kind of having the crew around Stacy for him?
He hasn't, but I know Ezekiel. He doesn't really care for all the rah-rah and everything.
Yeah.
I've talked to him about since he's been in camp is mostly about some family things that he got me doing down here in Dallas. Undeserved son.
Look, you're helping out your son. That's all we can ask for. Shawn, let's head over to you. Let's head over to the Pittsburgh Steelers. What have you liked so far about Steelers training camp? Because look, I already know you're a diehard Steelers fan. Then your son plays for them. You follow every move, and you guys seem to be like best friends.
I'm from Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
so I've always been a Steeler fan, but Coach Tomlin is a great leader. Kevin Colbert, our GM, is a great GM, even better person. The organization is everything that you hear about. Yeah. I mean, they're family oriented. They care about their players, and they know how to build championship teams from the bottom up. Their formula has never changed. Yeah. And one thing that I've noticed, and I was in Pittsburgh last week at training camp, the relationship between the players has really evolved. And Marcus, I must say, helped to bring that to Pittsburgh like he did at Penn State. I mean, they genuinely love and care about each other. And I think that that's the foundation of winning. Selflessness and meism just doesn't work. And if you like the man who lines up across from you or next to you, you're going to make sure that you're going to do everything in your power not to let him down and do your part. And that's one thing that I've noticed in Pittsburgh that I'm excited about.
That's exciting. I don't know, Stacy, you might have to start shaking. It sounds like Pittsburgh sounds pretty strong. And when we're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, let's be honest there. I mean, both of these teams, storied franchises, right? Long histories, have seen some success. Of course, they want to see some Sooner success. Pittsburgh was looking really great last year, Shawn, until this Washington football team came along all of a sudden. I remember me and Shawn talked before that game, Stacy, and for the record, didn't I tell you, Shawn, that it was coming? I told you, Shawn, right? That the loss was coming.
She did. But she didn't think it was going to be from Washington. She didn't believe that herself.
But all of that to say, again, two great teams. We're looking forward to them. And I want to touch more, Shawn, staying with you with Pittsburgh. Big Ben. A lot of eyes are Big Ben coming back this season. I mean, do you think long-term that he'll be able to, and not even long-term, right? We're looking at a couple years maybe. Some people say maybe it's going to be Big Ben's last year, but do you think he still has enough gas left in his tank, Shawn, to hopefully lead the Pittsburgh Steelers to victory?
I think he does. I mean, the problem, Big Ben is still Big Ben.
Yeah.
He's still the player that he was. He's not as mobile as he once was. So quite naturally that he's going to depend on a running game, a successful running game, and a strong offensive line to do their part. And if they have that in Pittsburgh and they draft Najee Harris, that's going to aid greatly in that running game category, then the burden is not going to be placed squarely on Ben's shoulder. Now, I think with that formula, I think you can get a few more years out of Ben. I think he'll play as long as he wants to if they're able to run the ball and protect.
We've got another Tom Brady on our hands, somebody that just doesn't want to let it go, Shawn, right? Big Ben is able to be protected. But hey, if Tom Brady can do it at 44, who says nobody else can? And talking about 44, also a happy belated birthday to your son, Stacy. I know Ezekiel just celebrated a birthday, so I do want to make sure I shout him out in that aspect. And then let's head over to Dallas and talk about Dallas. Dak is back, right? Dak is back in that quarterback spot. I think a lot of people trust in Dak. They're asking if he is 100%. But if Dak is 100%, let's talk about that offense and the weapons that they have, Stacy. What can we be excited for this season with the Cowboys on offense?
Well, I'll tell you what, God willing, if everyone can stay healthy, watch out NFC East, watch out NFL. I believe that Jerry Jones and the coaching staff have put together another magnificent team as long as we can stay healthy. And I think that the Dallas Cowboys, they're hungry. Everyone's hungry.
Yeah.
And we're starving. Cowboy Nation is starving for a championship. I mean, one thing I learned about being around here, it's like the Ohio State University. If we ain't playing for championships, we ain't playing at all.
Why does it matter, right? You want that ring. You want that ring at the end of the day. And, we're mentioning Jerry Jones. I know you have a unique relationship with Jerry Jones. And Stacy, tell us about Jerry. Like from the outside looking in, everybody wants to know Jerry. We've seen Jerry's role, but what's your relationship like with him? And just how great has it been to get to know Jerry while Ezekiel is playing in Dallas?
First, Shawn talked about how Pittsburgh Steelers is family oriented.
Yeah.
Mr. Jerry Jones is a very family guy. The first time I met him, after Ezekiel got drafted, he lectured me and Ezekiel for about 45 minutes, just me and him, on the importance of a father and a son and a father staying close. And Lord, did I know how important that advice and that wisdom was that Mr. Jones was giving us would be once we walk from his presence. I think he's a great man, and I think that he wants to win. Now, you're always going to have your critics, especially when you're high profile,
right,
like Jerry Jones is in the Dallas Cowboys. But at the end of the day, I think that if we all take his spirit as an organization and as players and coaches to want to win, and damn it, if we don't win, we're going to cry and we're going to fight the following week to be better, then I think we're going to be all right. But no, I love Mr. Jones. I think that any man that'll talk to another man and spend that much time about fatherhood and
Yeah.
the father-son relationship. And on top of that, every time I see him, it's almost embarrassing, like, because he grabs me and and last time I seen him, we were at a restaurant in Indianapolis, and he was hugging on me and parading me around the restaurant. This is Mr. Jerry Jones now. You know, just talking about me and my family and how I played at Missouri. He say Missouri. We say, if you ain't from Missouri, you say Missouri. But a true Arkansas, Missouri person, Missouri. You know, he was so excited just to see me. So I just think he's a great man. And I pray to God that we or the team can deliver a Super Bowl and he can go off into the sunset.
Oh, look, and we know how happy Jerry would be if he gets that Super Bowl that the Dallas fans are craving right now. I mean, he's got to do. And I'll tell you, Stacy, when I came out to Dallas a couple weeks ago, I was so impressed. I finally got to see the new stadium and practice field. Y'all are doing it pretty big. Jerry's investing a lot into making that Super Bowl dream happen.
Look, I'm at the Star right now. I wish you could. You've been here.
I've been here.
At the Star, Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters right now. This is the masterpiece out of the mind of Mr. Jerry Jones. Even if you're not a Dallas Cowboy fan, Shawn, you got to come here and bring this back that family oriented franchise. Talking about Pittsburgh.
Oh, Stacy.
No, I feel like, Shawn, you can't wear the black and gold colors. I don't know if Stacy's going to let you come in there with that, but you definitely have to experience it. It's an amazing, I'll tell you, people had told me about it, Stacy, but until I went there, seeing is truly believing. And it's an experience. I'll just put it out there. It was an experience.
Jerry Jones is the Ray Kroc of the NFL, okay? You know who Ray Kroc is in the McDonald's story, then you understand what I'm saying.
I absolutely love this. And this is going back, Shawn, to the Pittsburgh Steelers again, because we're preparing for tonight's game, kickoff at 8 p.m. Staying with the offense, we have another DMV guy that previously played with the Washington football team, and Dwayne Haskins on that Steelers team. And so as we look at Dwayne, and many people are looking to hopefully see him find some success in the National Football League, do you feel like the Steelers are a good fit for him?
Yes. Dwayne is doing exceedingly well. I think that he's gone through his growing pains. You know, I think sometimes we forget how old Dwayne was, and most of these kids are when they come in to this awesome situation. It's very stressful and it's larger than life. You know, sometimes I thank God that when I was that age, that I didn't have the things that they have. I don't even know if I'd be here. That's how difficult it is. But Dwayne is doing well in training camp, exceedingly well. And his maturity level has definitely turned the corner, and I'm excited for him.
That's huge. And I think that's what people wanted,
Can I
right?
say-
Playing in Washington. Yeah, go ahead, Stacy.
You know, I worked for Urban Meyer at The Ohio State University. I recruited a lot of these guys playing for Washington.
Oh, that's right.
Young is like a nephew. Terry McLaurin, that's a nephew.
Yeah.
And the quarterback we're talking about right now, that's a nephew. And so, great young man, great family. Watch out, NFL. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep.
That's huge. That's huge, because I'm just going to be honest with you all. Working with the Washington football team, covering DC sports, I think a lot of fans unfortunately did give up on him, right? But we saw kind of what happened, the matriculation. But I feel like Pittsburgh's a good fit for him, and I love Mike Tomlin for him as a head coach. I think it's a perfect kind of fit for him to have that one maturity and growth. And sometimes you got to leave the home area and try something new, be in a whole new environment, and it can work out for you. But he has the talent and he has the skills, right? It's just kind of seeing the combination of them all come together on the football.
Coach Tomlin, a great man, is going to give Dwayne Haskins what I call the uncle syndrome.
Yes.
Every father needs a good uncle.
Yes.
His son's life. And so that's what Coach Tomlin is going to do for Dwayne Haskins. I'm like an uncle to Dwayne, but you know, sometimes you run from your uncle because you don't feel comfortable about it.
Yeah.
But between Coach Tomlin, Dwayne's father, mother, family, that support, he's gonna be all right. Remember,
You have us all excited again, Dwayne, sending the well wishes again. DMV roots, we absolutely want to see him succeed. And look, again, talking about adversity, we talked about both of your sons going through adversity. I think Dwayne has kind of went through that, but it's like it's always light at the end of every tunnel. So again, sending our best wishes to Dwayne and staying on Mike Tomlin. Actually, let's talk about Coach Tomlin. Has achieved so much success in the National Football League. And actually, as we're talking about him, we've also kind of seen more Black head coaches in the National Football League. So I'd love to hear from you both. What does that mean for you all to kind of see some diversity start to go into the head coaching ranks? And let's just talk about Mike Tomlin's legacy. So I'll start with you, Shawn, for that question.
Mike is not only a great coach, he's a great person.
Yeah.
I've had private meetings with Mike on a regular basis. I mean, I've received a call from the administrative offices in Pittsburgh, and they said, Coach Tomlin wants to meet with you. I'm nervous. I'm like, what's going on? I fly to Pittsburgh, and the meeting was just basically wanting to know how Marcus is doing and what can we do to make him successful. This wasn't football related. This is personal related. What is it that we can do to make Marcus a better man? What can we do? Are there any problems? Is there anything that we can help to make Marcus successful? I mean, I'll never forget that, and I appreciate it, and it's paid off.
I think that's huge. And I think sometimes the outside doesn't know how close the coaches' relationship aren't just with the players, but with you all, right? The family, because that family, when a player is drafted, their family is also inherited into that larger football family, right? And both of your families have seen that. But stay on Mike Tomlin, Stacy, and stay on just Black coaches in the National Football League. Have you liked the growth that we've seen so far?
I think, first of all, I like the growth, but I'm not satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
I think that more Black coaches should get an opportunity, just as we have watched more Black athletes get an opportunity in the NFL. And no disrespect to no one else.
Right.
Just make everything fair and let the team fall with the ball.
That's huge. That's huge. And again, diversity can only go up. Working in Washington, I've loved being able to also see a woman come in the coaching ranks. We've got Jennifer King, which has been, again, just so exciting. And we're also, I saw this smile, Stacey, an amazing woman. And again, and look at what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did, right? With also females on the coaching staff. So again, I think it's a brighter day. Again, as you said, I think there should be more Black coaches.
Let's just face it. The National Football League is a microcosm of society itself. No, we don't have enough Black coaches in the coaching rank. There are ample amount of qualified minority coaches in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
And no, I'm like Stacy. I mean, I'm satisfied, but it's not nearly enough.
Yeah, it needs to rise, right?
Yeah, we are definitely underrepresented in the coaching ranks, and they're capable.
And also allow us the opportunity to become, allow opportunity to be OCs and DCs, offensive coordinators.
Right.
And don't keep us stuck. Like, I would like to see Eric Bieniemy, who I played against. I went to the University of Missouri, and he went to the University of Colorado, and they beat us on the 5th down, and he didn't score, but that's a whole nother story. And Andy, his head coach, one of my coaches at Missouri, but that's another story too. Give Coach Bieniemy an opportunity. Don't be up in coaches like him.
Yeah. And there have been a lot calling saying, this guy is talented. He's great. He's been proven. What's going on? And I'm so happy that you brought it up, because I also think that he is well deserving of an opportunity in the National Football League. And as we talk about opportunity again, I know we're getting closer to game time. Let's go around the National Football League. So Stacy, me and you started with the NFC East. We talked about the Cowboys. Let's talk about the other two teams in the divisions. The Philadelphia Eagles, do they scare you at all? Jalen Hurts, are you a believer, Stacy?
Listen, we're not going to say that word, Philadelphia. Look, I'm
trying to be nice and give everyone love, Stacy.
I'm a Jalen Hurts fan on the low. Don't tell nobody, okay? I like to see him successful.
Yeah.
Hey, New York Giants, I grew up a New York Giants fan. I'm from the New York City area, and there's a few players on that team I admire. I look as nephews, and shoot, Coach Garrett just left the Dallas Cowboys. Great man. I had a very good relationship with him. You know what? Let's battle it out. And when the smoke clear, let's just make sure Dallas is on top.
You can't say that on a Washington-based show, Stacy. Come on.
My heart is torn because Washington, Terry McLaurin, all them Buckeyes, I'm a Buckeye. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, they're my guys. When the smoke clear, let it be the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, look, the Dallas fans in D.C. are happy and across the country. And now, Shawn, let's look at the AFC. Now, the AFC North, I think, is a division that many are calling maybe one of the best in football. The Pittsburgh Steelers will have their hands full. Let's start with Baltimore and the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, we're hoping, of course, that the COVID list, is able to get off and able to be back healthy. But does Baltimore scare you at all?
Yes. I mean, Baltimore reminds me of the Pittsburgh Steelers type of team. I mean, they're blue collar, they're great coaches, great players. They're hard nosed. Yeah, I respect Baltimore Ravens, but do they scare me? Let me retract that. No, not really. We slept on last year, right?
Just messing with you.
What'd you say?
I said, you can't change your answer now, but no, I'm just messing with you. But no, when we look at the AFC North, and I think, again, many look at Pittsburgh and Baltimore, right? They've been two powerhouses. We know they're both known for their great defenses, but now both on offense. Again, Big Ben's still there, and Lamar Jackson, what he's been able to do in the National Football League, taking the league by storm. Many questions, right? And we'll see how they're able to duke it out. Now let's transition over to Cleveland Browns. They're relevant again, Shawn and Stacy. Where people are scared of Cleveland.
I don't know if they're scared of Cleveland, but Cleveland is definitely not your mom and pop's Cleveland Browns. Yeah. They're evolving, and I'm happy. I'm happy for Cleveland, because listen, we want the best in the stiffest competition in the division. You have to beat the best to be the best. So, of course, I welcome it.
It's true. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals, right? We've got Joe Burrow back. There had been reports, though, from training camp that Joe was struggling. Look, we know he came off that ACL tear and injury. We saw what happened to his leg. And look, if you're a quarterback, what do you need? You need a good offensive line. Cincinnati Bengals are trying to get to that point. But the Cincinnati, is there anything there that you think Cincinnati maybe can somehow surprise this division?
No.
I'm loving Shawn's just one-word answer. No chance for Cincinnati. Absolutely at all. And as we look at the other teams, some of the other top storylines, Carson Wentz. I just feel like he can't catch a break. When y'all heard that news, what were your thoughts for the Colts?
Well, I missed that one on Carson Wentz. I know him, too, from when I met him back when he was coming out with Ezekiel. What happened?
Yeah, surgery. Surgery is needed. Surgery is needed. So he's going to miss some weeks, Stacy.
Oh, sorry. That great family.
Yeah. They found basically an old foot injury that kind of reappeared, and now he's going to need surgery. And look, your feet are important if you are a quarterback. So that was one of the biggest storylines. And something else I want to touch with you all on before I let you all go, because, again, I know everyone's excited for the Hall of Fame game. COVID-19 is the thing in the NFL, right? And we've seen just a lot of storylines about players, whether they choose to get vaccinated or whether they choose not to get vaccinated. We heard Kirk Cousins today talking about maybe he needs to put plexiglass up around him in the quarterback room to stay safe, and how they're having to make the locker room a bit bigger for those conversations that they need to have. And so, do you think we can really just, in real talk, get through this football season, which is healthy football teams, right? Because we've seen the new rule changes. If there are not enough players, teams will have to forfeit games. But do you think with all players not being vaccinated, can we get through the full season? I'll start with you, Shawn.
If we could get through the entire season last year, we can certainly get through this year, especially with, over 50, 60% of most teams being vaccinated. So I'm not terribly concerned about that. But as it relates to the possibility of an unvaccinated player on a team, which could cause a possible forfeit if they can't reschedule a game,
right?
both teams not being paid. I don't know if I agree with that. Maybe they need to revisit that aspect of the rule, and that's something that the Players Association may want to take a look at. I mean, I agree. I mean, listen, if your decision affects not only your team but the opposing team and their livelihood, I think that's an issue.
Yeah, it's a big question we have. Again, I think, unfortunately, I think the vaccine issue has become political, but it's a big issue on a lot of teams. Here in Washington, we're dealing with it. I think we're about 84% of all the players have at least one shot, but we also knew what Ron Rivera went through last year. So he's somebody that is more susceptible, right, to COVID-19, and someone that, of course, wants to be protected and be safe. And we love Ron Rivera in Washington, so hoping he stays healthy. But Stacy, same question for you. COVID-19 is an issue, right? We have players saying they don't either know enough about it, they don't want to get it, and we're trying to get through a full season. So you have vaccinated players going with unvaccinated players, and we're just trying to play some football, Stacy. You think we can get through the season?
I'm like Shawn. I mean, we got through it last year with no vaccination. We can get through it this year.
Yeah.
I say also, though, I'm confused because if I get vaccinated, I can still get it. If I don't get vaccinated, I can still get it.
Right.
Okay. Oh, if I get vaccinated and I get it, it won't be as severe as if I wasn't vaccinated. But wait a minute, I thought people got it and didn't even know they had it. Then I know people got it and it wasn't that severe because some of my children had it, including Ezekiel. So if I would just say this about that vaccination, if it's so safe, why don't the CDC, the government, approve it?
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, if it's that safe up until this point, none of the companies' vaccines have been permanently approved. So I'm confused.
To be fair, I think a lot of people are confused, right? From one end, we go from wearing masks, not wearing masks, and now we're back to masks. And to our knowledge, right, from what we're hearing, for now, the vaccine is supposed to be the best protection from COVID-19. But as you said, Stacey, there are people who have been vaccinated that got it. But at this point, I think we're just saying, hey, what's your best chance? And some will say that it is getting vaccinated. Some players are taking a chance, right? We just don't know. But only time will tell. Before I let you all go, we have a new Hall of Fame class about to be enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Always an exciting time of the year. I always love the calls that get there. Have you both had a chance to look at the list? We have some big names going in, right? Peyton Manning, Charles Woodson, Megatron, and Calvin Johnson. What are your thoughts on this year's class? I'll start with you.
Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah. Excited, right?
Yeah, we got a couple. Drew Pearson, I believe. Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Long but needed time inductee. It's an exciting time for Cowboy Nation. Exciting time for the NFL. So yeah, I'm happy for everyone.
Yeah, and you're gonna be there. Or no, Shawn, you're going to Canton. You won't be there.
Matter of fact, I was just about to bring that up. I have to leave to get down to Canton.
Yeah.
So I'm in Cleveland right now. I have to run down there. It's getting close, but I wanted to thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
So fun.
And to be on with the ambassador is an honor.
Ambassador Elliott, we appreciate you.
Absolutely. So I have to sign off right now, but I want to thank you again, and good seeing you, Stace. Love you.
I love you too, man.
All right, brother.
Appreciate it, Shawn. Safe travels to Canton. Stacy, it was also a pleasure to have you on. I know you're excited for football. Any last words for the fans, Stacy, listening in today?
Rise up, Cowboy Nation.
How did I know that was coming? Stacy?
Ezekiel, you done lost a lot of weight. I know you're starving. Go Cowboys.
I'm so happy you brought that up. People are saying Zeke's been looking good in training camp. Stacy lost the weight, in great shape. A picture of him went viral and his physique. I don't know how that makes you feel as a father, but I guess it means he's doing something right.
I know.
It's in the bloodline, right? It's in the genes. Well, Stacy, it's been such a pleasure to have you. Again, I can't say go Cowboys because where I am in DC, and I want to be able to go home, Stacy. I want to be able to go home. All right. So I'm not
coming back to Dallas.
I'm gonna have to get back to Dallas, like Washington, that rivalry. Again, we're looking forward to it.
When you
Stacy
come
Elliott.
back,
I'm going to have to. Look, Dallas is a special place in my heart now. It's a beautiful city.
Listen, let the ambassador take you on the ambassador tour. Might not be this time. Last time you came, your plane didn't want to take off because
my plane did not want to take off, so I spent an extra day in Dallas. But you know what, Stacy? Something good that happened, and I'm going to share it on this show. I got a nice little email yesterday that said I got a voucher for a free flight. So look, I might can come back to Dallas. It's like they want me back, right?
Gotcha.
So good things could happen again from bad circumstances. Again, Stacy Elliott, such a pleasure having you on the show. We're looking forward to everything. We're looking forward to the enshrinement. We're looking forward to tonight's game. You have a final score prediction for tonight's game, Stacy?
28-14. Go Cowboys.
All right. He says go Cowboys. I'm just saying go football. All right. Football's back. We're finally here. We're excited for all the preseason games and so much more. Stacy Elliott, appreciate you having us. And also, anywhere we can follow you, I also know you have your management company. Tell the good people, Stacy Elliott, can keep connected.
Well, yeah, it's Fifth Down Management. I actually named it after that game I was talking about.
Yeah, I mentioned, yeah.
I played against them when I was at Missouri. You know, we manage athletes and help them build their brands and teach them the importance of protecting their brands. You can follow me at the ambassador_Elliott on Instagram, Stacy Elliott on Facebook. And, you know, hey, come join on with me and let's see what we can do.
Come join on Stacy Elliott, the ambassador. All right. Make sure y'all remember that when you visit Dallas. There's an official ambassador, and he goes by the name Stacy Elliott. Stacy, so appreciate your time. Everyone, stay tuned. I'm gonna let Stacy go, but again, I am live from Swahili Village, Northwest DC. We're going to bring on some food. We're going to talk about tailgating food and things like that, and some good food that you can come get at the restaurant here. I'll also be bringing on the owners. All right. So stay tuned. Stacy, thanks so much again for your time.
Thank you, Miss Kelsey. Look forward to seeing you here at the Star.
Of course, I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting an official tour. All right, Stacy, next time I'm getting the official tour. Bye, Stacy. Have a great one.
Good evening.
All right, everyone. Again, broadcasting live. Appreciate you all tuning in. We are getting ready for the Hall of Fame game. We are less than an hour away. And look, if you're in DC, come join me. We're going to be watching the game here, broadcasting it live. I'm so excited to bring on the owners of the show because what goes with sports? Good food, right? So we're going to bring on some good food and some drinks like that and introduce you to a brand new restaurant that you all need to get into when you come into DC. I'm telling you, if you're coming here for a Washington game, you're going to have to stop by. You will not regret it. Just tell them Kelsey sent you. All right, y'all. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back again live from Swahili Village. If you're in the area, Northwest DC, come visit, come say hi. We'll be here all night long watching the game. We'll see who wins and who comes to duke it out. Again, I had two dads on. I wanted to be balanced, but thanks again so much to Shawn Allen and Stacy Elliott for both representing their sons well, representing themselves well, and getting us ready for football. A special shout out to my team as well for helping me get everything prepared for today's show. And also, I want to welcome on my brand new Listen In With KNN interns, bringing on 3 new interns that will be helping me throughout the football season so we can make sure that we get you all a lot of content. All right, so lots of content coming. Again, broadcasting live from Swahili Village. We'll take a quick break. Stay right there, y'all, because we're counting down to football.
Listen In with KNN on Fox Sports Radio now offers official Kelsey Nicole Nelson apparel in a variety of styles for men and women. Fashionable shirts, leggings, hats, jackets, and more. Order now and get 15% off and free shipping. Just enter promo code KNN. Get your Listen In with KNN wearables today. And check out Listen In with KNN on Fox Sports Radio with Kelsey Nicole Nelson.
Welcome back to Listen In with KNN. Look, we're going to get closer together. We're all vaccinated, so don't worry, everyone out there. But again, live at Swahili Village. First off, it feels so great to be able to do a live show again. I've missed this. I've missed people. But sitting next to me, I have two of the owners of Swahili Village again here in Northwest DC. So everyone in the DMV, look, it's in the heart of downtown DC. So you have no excuse or no reason not to come out here. So I have Ahmad and Kevin. I will start with you, Ahmad. First of all, thanks so much for having me. Let's talk about Swahili Village. Let's talk about when it opened and what's this experience that everyone in DC will get.
Well, first of all, welcome home.
Thank you.
We are the first fine dining African restaurant in the DMV area and in the U.S.
Huge.
And large. And we opened a week before COVID.
Which is amazing.
March 7th, and we had to shut down for COVID on the 14th.
Right.
It's been very tough ride, but we stuck it out. We believed in the brand. We believe in our guests, and we believe that we're going to make it. And it was very humbling, but it was a great experience, and it made the brand stronger, a lot of reflection, and allowed us to meet the community one-on-one on a slower pace. And now we're ready to relaunch the brand on the August 31st as a grand opening party.
Exciting. Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
And we're opening in New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey.
Congratulations.
We're opening in Manhattan, New York.
So new locations,
and
Newark,
Tyson's
Manhattan,
Corner, Woodbridge, and National Harbor. So
amazing.
We're going to open 50 of these beautiful spaces all over the U.S. and take it international afterwards.
That is huge.
Under the leadership and the vision of Kevin that started the brand 14 years ago, and I'm going to give him the floor.
Let's
tell us a bit about the
Tell
story.
us about Swahili Village. I know we're getting a taste of Africa, right? Specifically Kenyan culture, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
This is it's actually designed on the cuisine of Kenya, but it captures every part of Africa.
Yeah.
So on our dish, on our menu, you'll find if you like fufu, we have fufu.
Yum.
We call it a different name. If you like suya or nyama choma, or actually just grilled beef.
Kebab.
So basically,
everything.
what you'll find on our menu is everything that you eat every day at home, except it's made with the approach and the hospitality of the Kenyan way of doing it.
Yeah, with the Kenyan way of doing it. And I'll tell you what brought me here. So when we think about sports, we also like to eat good food. And what do people do before sports games? They're tailgating, right? You want to eat good and you want to have a good experience. Maybe you're doing a watch party, which is something that you can do here because we're actually in a private room, y'all, that you can reserve. And look, you have your own birthday here, have your own watch party, watch Washington win in DC or even our Washington Wizards. So pretty exciting. Let's talk about that game day experience. Is there anything unique that you all will be offering? What's the game day experience going to be like here for DC?
Well, unfortunately, last year we didn't have a chance to enjoy the watch party as much as we wanted to, but we had it on a smaller level with social distances. But for now, we are doing watch parties for football, basketball, soccer, World Cup, and European Championship, and the Olympics for sure.
Huge.
So during certain games, the semifinals and finals, we have a pre-game show, and we have DJ, and we have MC, and we create the ambience. And the sound system here is Wi-Fi, very, very sophisticated.
It's
sound
impeccable.
Like you feel like you're inside the game. When you hear the crowd and you hear the cheer, you can't help it by having fun in your own back room. So
that's huge.
We're looking forward to invite everyone to share the NFL with us. Watch Washington win the division again.
Washington winning again.
And go to the playoff. And I'm predicting we're going to be in later stage in the playoff as well.
Look at that. Look, I'm talking the same as you. And I'm glad Stacy Elliott's off of this now because, you know, he's trying to go on our NFC East team. But again, lots to experience here. Kevin, what else will people experience when they get to come to Swahili Village? How will it kind of differentiate from anything else that they've been to?
Oh, the energy here, because we created this place with a mind actually of, you know, people like sport lovers.
Yeah, sports fans.
To go out of our way to put the kind of sound we put here. to put a kind of audio and visual here.
Right.
We were targeting that very interesting crowd that wants to be able to enjoy and a fine dining place as well.
Right.
Yes. So think about this though. We have a lot of NFL players who are from Africa. Right?
Yes,
Quite
we
a few of
do.
them.
We do.
And when they go to any city, they can't find a nice fine dining place to
For
enjoy
them,
the food.
yeah.
So we thought about all those things that fathers like
Stacy,
and Shawn.
They can now come out and really be able to enjoy some of the cuisine from Africa.
Yeah.
Because it's home now. This is the culture we're bringing you, and we want to be able to integrate that culture and make it part of this, the football lovers too.
All right, so I'm smelling the food, y'all. Y'all know we're talking about the cuisine, so we're going to bring the food on. But before we bring the food on, just in case anybody wants to come join us again, we'll be here all night. The football game kicks off at 8 p.m. And as they said, NFL games, soccer, World Cup, whatever you want, you can watch it here. What's the address here? How can people come down?
1990 M Street. And you just ask for Swahili Village. You're going to see us right next to the front door of the building. We have our big canopy welcoming you home.
Welcome home.
We look forward to have you all.
And
where's the red
carpet? You feel like a celebrity, y'all,
so
when you come here.
You walk in here, you walk into Africa, you walk in Africa without a visa. So you don't need a visa to come to Swahili, and we'll treat you like a celebrity.
And you'll get treated like it's true, y'all. My first time here, got to walk the red carpet, and I haven't left since. And this is why I'm joined by Ahmad and Kevin. All right, so we're about to bring the cuisines in. I hope y'all are hungry. I know y'all are, because again, before you watch football, you got to find that comfortable place at a restaurant or on your couch, and then you want to eat, right? You want to eat well. So we're going to show you all some of the great cuisine that you all can get coming here. All right.
One of the important things we do in Swahili is our wine, which is South African wine.
Ooh,
second to none, whether you are
a
white wine lover or if you're a red wine lover, you're going to enjoy our wine, and we can toss after the game and celebrate our friendship, our brotherhood, and celebrate Africa in America.
But you know what to enjoy the rest? Is the portions. Because these are
Oh,
footballers. They're hungry. They love food.
They don't want the small portions.
They don't want a small portion. French restaurant looking like, but they'll enjoy a real African way of dining, which is just to give you enough food.
Which is huge.
When you get there, you're like, I'm good. I'm ready for the game.
Dr. Miles can witness that here. He did witness it last week, and Kelsey can attest for it. So,
and we're going to show it.
We look forward to take you on a tour to Africa and the way we eat in Africa, and come and experience it yourself. You're going to have fun. You won't regret it.
Have fun. You won't regret it. Come and look. They said it's an experience that you will get here at Swahili Village. So I think we're ready to show the food. All right. So I think what we're going to do is move the camera over. I'm telling y'all, if you're hungry, you're just going to be hungrier. So look, and you guys are also on the apps, right? On Uber Eats, Grubhub. So if you can't make it down, you can also order the food out to you. If you're like me, I've been using that a lot. But hey, however you get food is how you get food. But we're now going to take you over to the food and showcase the food. So again, if you're hungry, this is the spot for you. All right, so we'll have Kevin and Ahmad describe the different dishes.
Well, our founder and designer of the menu is Kevin, and he will take us in a journey. We're going to start with our fish, which is our signature item, and Kevin can go over that item for everyone, so we can give them a taste of what to expect.
So I was born on the shores of Lake Victoria back in Africa.
Yes, sir. Where
the Nile finds its water. So that's the source of the Nile is on the Lake Victoria. And so this is our to-go-to fish, literally. It is laced with a beautiful sauce of all kinds of vegetables, and go ahead and makes it really beautifully connected to that fish. And then, of course, we have the plantain, which is an African, you can't say that. And then, of course, we have jollof rice. Where else could you find jollof this good? And by the way, how come we don't have jollof on every table in America?
It's coming.
This is where we start.
Coming to a restaurant near your home.
Yes. And then our second dish, believe it or not, is goat on bone. And with collard greens, we just shred it, give it love, a little bit of pico de gallo, in our language we call it kachumbari.
Yeah.
And then pilau rice. Do you smell that?
It smells so good. That's why I had to stop and show the food. It smells so good.
That has everything. That rice is given love. Remember, it was white. and because of all the kinds of beautiful seasonings,
Herbs and spices.
it's now brown. And then we have stew. You must have stew. In an African dish, an African table, we have to have good, but this is goat stew. This was grilled goat on the bone, and this is goat stew. And we normally pair it with fufu,
which is, we call it
which is
ugali.
ugali, and usually with plantain or
Rice.
or rice. You can pair it with anything. But if you want me, but those who like just to be able to eat the fufu with your sauce, these two go amazingly well. Of course, we didn't forget the vegetarians. So we have the beans with coconut masala sauce that really brings that home. Your flavor profiles will just jump out at you. And then lentils. That usually those two are paired very well with chapati or rice. But yeah, so this is Africa really. This is
For vegetarian.
The essence of really living in Africa. Look at the portions.
It looks delicious.
And I'm sure you describe how you feel right now.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, if you're not here, I'm sorry. We're about to chow down, but like you guys need to get down here. You see this amazing food, and again, you get the game day experience. It's nothing better than that, right?
We have a variety of wines.
We have the wines too, and like for football.
And of course,
Signature
Kenyan beer.
Wow.
Tuscan.
So people have to come down, basically, is what I'm hearing. Again, if you haven't heard it yet, Swahili Village. Let's give the address one more time.
1990 M Street, Northwest 20036, Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C.
Ask
Come
for
on down.
Imad and Kevin. We'll
Look.
be welcoming you with open arms.
Simply amazing. Again, so excited to be here. I appreciate you all tuning into the live stream show. And look, we'll be back here at Swahili Village, so you're not going to want to miss this incredible experience. I appreciate you all for tuning into my Listen In with KNN pre-show before the Hall of Fame game, Dallas Cowboys, Pittsburgh Steelers. We're looking forward to it again. Come join us. We're about to watch the game, and thank you all for listening. I so appreciate your time. We'll show one more shot of the food before we let y'all go and get ready for some football.
Are you ready for football?
They better be, right?
I know I am.
In the football. All right. Thanks again, everyone, so much for tuning in. I'm Kelsey Nicole Nelson. We'll see you all later. Swahili Village. Again, appreciate you all so much for tuning in. We'll actually be back with another live show this Saturday at 2 p.m. Have a former football player joining me because, again, we are counting down to football. You all will not want to miss it. All right, y'all. See you later. Have a great one. And thanks again so much for tuning in. Bye, guys.
Follow Kelsey on social media at The Real K Nelson. Catch episodes of Listen In with KNN on YouTube, on air at AM 1340 and 96.9 FM, Fox Sports Radio, on Facebook and Twitter, and online at KelseyNicoleNelson.com. Thank you for watching this live stream broadcast of Listen In with KNN.